I spoke to Ernest Cline yesterday, and it was his ultimate dream that you would read his book. I mean, let alone make a film. So what did you love about the book that, enticed you to make it?
Well, I had never read a book that proposed such a credible yet insane, world that we would someday be able to escape into. A world that we leave our world, but we don't leave our world. We don't have to walk 5 feet to leave our world. We just have to put something over our eyes, and we are suddenly thrust into a wonderful world of someone's imagination. In this case, it was the imagination of Ernest Cline, and a book that I kept reading over and over again.
Well, the imagination of Ernest Cline goes in a lot of places, which cinematically doesn't make it an easy world to put together. So tell us about working with Janusz Kaminski on creating a world that does work. It's the perfect recipe. Everything is in place.
Well, Janusz, just did the live action part of the film. Every time you see the actors in the dystopian world of 2045, Janusz photographed all of that. But Janusz didn't photograph the Oasis. The Oasis was the photography, the lighting was done by the artist at ILM.
So very exciting. And was it challenging for you to just get to it?
Everything was challenging about this film. For one thing, this is one of the biggest ideas that I've ever been honored to turn into a movie. And thanks to Ernest Cline, who has a tremendous imagination and created a world I had never imagined. But he imagined it. Now it was my job to imagine it for you and put it on the screen somehow. And I couldn't do it alone, so it was just it was a huge job, but I had great collaborators, Adam Stockhausen, the production designer, the designers at ILM and Digital Domain. I had such a great core group of Imagineers who all got together to dream, based on Ernie's dream, what this movie could someday look like.
You kept me on the edge of my seat, all those pop culture references, all those films, so many to count. But was it important for you that it was, films that you love and filmmakers that you admire?
It wasn't even so much about what did I admire. It's what did the culture admire in the 1980s? Mm-hmm. What were kids in 2045 racing backwards through the decades to reacquire? And even those that weren't born anywhere, only Halliday was born in that era. Everybody else playing Halliday's game never existed in the 1980s, and yet the music, the films, the style took over, and somehow we returned to the innocent decade, the Ronald Reagan years of the 1980s.
And the music, did you pick and choose it yourself? How did that work?
I picked some of the music myself, but also Ernest Cline and Zach Penn had a lot to do with picking the music as well.
Was it a difficult film to cast, and were you looking forward to working again with Mark Rylance? Do you believe in cinematic muses?
If I could use Mark Rylance on every movie I direct, I would. He loves theater before film, of course, and that's his first love is theater. So when he's available, I try to make a movie with him. And I was very lucky to get him on this one. But I was also very lucky to get a very young cast, too. Olivia Cooke and Ty Sheridan and Lena Waithe, Win Morzaki, Philip Zhao. These are all sort of relatively unknown actors. And then Ben Mendelsohn, who's become a veteran actor who played Nolan Sorrento. I really enjoyed working with him. And T.J. Miller, one of my favorite characters in the movie, who plays I-Rock.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You haven't made a sci-fi film in 12 years. How has the technology changed, and how do you think cinematically the world will be, the cinema world will be in 2045?
I hope there is a cinema world in 2045.
Me too, always on the big screen.
I hope people keep going to the movies. I hope they love the social experience of crowding into a theater with strangers and all crying and laughing together, sharing an experience that somebody else dreams up for them to share. I hope that doesn't go away. I don't think it will, but television is so good today, and the miniseries and the shows that are being made for television are fantastic and are very competitive qualitatively with motion pictures. So the audience today is divided between staying at home or going out. And I'm just hoping in 2045 the audience will appreciate the value of going out to the value of staying at home.
I completely agree. And the technology versus 12 years ago on this?
Well, the technology in 2045 is going to be extraordinary. There's going to be all kinds of advances in exhibition, meaning in motion picture presentation. Theaters are going to change. There'll be new ways of looking at movies. There'll be bigger screens. I think at some point we may even make a movie where the screens, like a planetarium, almost surround us. So there is going to be still a reason to go to the movies. But you know the only reason that we should go to the movies? The stories have to be worth going to. The stories have to be worth telling. And if they're not, that's going to cause people to stay more at home.